All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back because we're into game number 3 here. MaSa versus Hendreless, the grand finals of the TorCraft Cup here at Anime North 2014. You're here with the young and old of esports, Eschamp, and Chairs for Gaming because we're loading in to Yansu for this, I want to say tiebreaker, but it's, even whoever wins this, it's a best of 5.
Yeah.
So this is just like, this is the momentum map. Whoever gets this will get one step closer to that 3 score that they need for the best of 5 to take home the $240 here for our prize pool. But
yeah,
Hendreless really put up a big fight that game, and I want to just say that between game number 1 game number 2, what changed? It was that really early drone strike from both of them.
Yeah, and then plus also going into game 2, Hendreless, he was much more aggressive compared to game 1, where he was taking a lot of aggression from MaSa, whereas game 2, he knew when it was happening, and then he would shut it down and he'd go straight back.
Yeah, he knew that he had the resources at his disposal in order to kind of do that aggression. So let's see what they can do here on Yansu in the top right from Complexity Sound Blaster, the Zerg favorite of Toronto, the guy that just put a point on the board. Give it up for Hendreless.
Yeah. And over on the bottom left, he won game 1, lost game 2. Our now red Terran player representing Root Gaming. It is MaSa.
6 pooling. Now, I was curious to see where this SCV was going to go, but it doesn't look like any kind of cheese is going to be coming in the way of the Terran this round.
Probably just Reapers. This is Yansu, a lot of ledges, very easy to get up.
Yeah, I mean, even Reapers at this map, like, not really a huge amount of distance between these two spawns, it seems. So, why proxy?
Yeah, well, if you proxy, then it gets there even quicker. It's only about 5 seconds to go from if you proxy from the third base to head up into the natural. So, definitely proxies are an option. They've happened before on Yansu.
Well, they're not going to happen today.
Not going to happen today. Not at all. And right now, Refiner on the way. Just going to be the usual Reaper stuff that MaSa brings out versus Zerg. So
this is a pretty Overlord. Look at that Overlord. 9 out of 10. You don't even have it come back to that, do you? Hendreless gets back at home, gets a spawning pool, has the gas. I mean, he probably expects Reapers at this point, but he has shown that he's very resilient against it. Loses out a Queen every now and then, maybe a few drones, but overall, like, the early harass doesn't really bring him down that much. I mean, we have seen games decided by the Reaper rushing of MaSa before, but, Hendreless, again, very resilient against it.
Yep, right now his spawning pool is going to be finishing up soon. The Reaper already past halfway point across the map now. And with the gas already being mined, it's not too... Metabolic Boost isn't too far off here. Not Reaper, my bad, the SCV.
I was going to say, I don't think that's quite the Reaper, but he's looking for that expansion. Now he knows that it's actually not there. Metabolic Boost, the Queen is going to be on its way. That drone is...
Oh, can it throw it down? Oh, the SCV gets to block it. Engineering Bay block.
Huzzah. Yeah, but again, like, the pool went down. We do got some Zerglings now out here. This is not going to last that long at all. And that's actually going to be a big blow to MaSa because that SCV was actually meant for a bunker.
Yeah, and right now we'll be able to get the drone that was supposed to build a hatchery, though. So they're going to be able to make that back up. And right now, more Reapers on the way. Hendreless just getting a few Zerglings out now. Metabolic Boost already halfway done. Looking all right here for our Zerg player. And the hatchery finally gets down.
I was going to say, if he loses out that drone, that's just going to be just not the best of positions here for Hendreless. Queen's going to get into the fray here, but that Reaper does have quite a few ledges to choose from. Back at home, though, we do got a command center, I believe, on its way. And yes, I'm going to go with command center.
Yeah. Command center and a factory as well here. So probably just going to be going 3 Reapers, 6 Hellions, as per usual here.
It's a nice spot for those Reapers, yeah.
Yeah.
Pick up a few Zerglings for free.
In the very beginning of the map, Hendreless was saying, I hate this map. And then MaSa was jokingly saying it's Zerg favored.
Yeah.
It's not. Especially versus Terran. There's a lot, like, Reaper shenanigans that can go on. It's like this, where he can just go around the ramp, and then that Reaper's going to live.
Oh, he actually got it at the end of it.
MaSa kind of mismicroed that.
Well, he's busy at home just macroing up. He wants to make
Yeah.
sure that something like game number 2 doesn't happen again. The second command center is ready to go. The factory is out as well. You can see the Hellions now going to be starting in the production. But back at home, what is Hendrix doing? Well, his natural did get heavily delayed, so he's a little bit more on the back foot compared to where he'd like to be at this point of the game.
Right now,
Is that a third? That was a third CC.
yeah, a third command center did go down, or is going down for MaSa right now. Starport on the way as well, and I kind of want to see Banshees.
I kind of feel like the length of this map plus how behind Hendrilisk is at this point, I think Banshees really could do some work.
Yeah, but, you know, the second refinery, it's just coming down. It's going to be a little late for the Banshees, so unfortunately, like, it's still possible because you can do Banshees off of one gas, but it's a lot less effective because Cloak comes out very late.
Yeah, if you're only doing it on the one gas, then perhaps not the best of ideas. So maybe he will just stick to the drops. We haven't actually seen Banshees as of yet, but in terms of the harass squad, you know, the Reapers and Hellions are still back at home.
Yeah. Right now, he's just going to be collecting them back together. It is a small map,
He was
as you
just
said
waiting
earlier.
for the last 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually moves out with about the 5 or so.
Yeah, well, this time he's only got 2 Reapers compared to the normal 3. The third one did die earlier.
Right.
So he has to be a lot more careful with this army. He doesn't want to lose it too much. It is sacrificial, but it's only sacrificial to a certain point.
Now, Hendrilisk typically likes to sit on a 3-base basis, and from there, he just likes to kind of use that extra larva, maybe get a macro hatch, but also spread out the creep tumors. This time, he's actually gone heavier into the army, but he's not going to find the red. The red actually is not going to be slipping by.
Oh, and Banshees and Cloak, it is actually to follow this up for MaSa. Zergling's going to get barbecued by those Hellions, and right now the Roaches, what are they going to do? They should continue back into his opponent's base. There's not a lot over here, but nope, the Banshee is out now, and that's going to make it very difficult for Hendrilisk to engage here. Bunker.
I don't know. We're really committing to this. Like, is this the right move?
There are Widow Mines out, and the Zergling's going to tank those up, even killing an SCV of his own. With
The door didn't get up.
Oh, yeah, and the Banelings, they're going to be able to waddle in here and kill whatever they can. Nope, actually the Banshee going to target fire it down. Roach is going to head up into the main base, probably should head towards the mineral line, and Hendrilisk seeming a little indecisive with what he wants to do right now. Oh, Baneling's getting morphed in right between the SCVs. The SCVs aren't targeting them, and that could be terrible if they finish.
Pop goes the Weasel. Wow, they're actually going to finish up?
One gonna finish. Nope. One gonna get canceled. Oh, the other not
So
quite
close.
able to deal the damage it needed to.
So again, Hendrilisk going on the offensive, keeping the Banshees back here at base for MaSa. I mean, this front line has actually been just decimated by all the aggression. And Hendrilisk not quite in the stronger position, like in terms of everything. MaSa's still ahead in supply. MaSa actually still ahead in the worker count and the armies. And, how are we actually preparing for these Banshees? I do see spores on the way.
Yeah, 2 spores on the way, 1 for each base. Probably might be smart to throw one down in the middle between them, but it's not going to be all bad. Cloak is finished up here for our for our Terran player.
Zerg cloaking, OMG.
Well, I guess there are Banelings and Burrow, so kind of the same thing.
So we're picking up quite a few drones between the two of them. We do got that cloak out, 14 workers killed in total.
Yeah. And right now, those Banshees, they're not going to be able to do too much because as soon as they show up, they are in range of that spore, so the Queens can target them. Nice transfuse on the one Queen, but going to lose it anyways in the end here. And, going to lose a couple drones. The Banshees,
this is turning bad to worse for Hendrilisk.
Yeah.
Losing quite a few drones out of this.
And right now, Banshees, they're just kind of flying around in range of the spore again. One Banshee runs out of Cloak, a second one going to run out soon.
The Cloak feels very unneeded at this point. They've already killed out 2 Queens, and that's all they can actually shoot up at this point. But still, between them, quite a few drones.
Yeah,
and
30 kills.
That will keep MaSa, again, ahead in terms of the worker count, but he also has those mules. Here comes the counterattack.
A Lingbane bust, the door is down, and the Banelings, they're just going to waddle in. The Widow Mines are used up. A lot of them going to be able to get the Hellions. None of them going to the mineral line. Oh, can any of them get them? Oh, getting a few SCVs, but there's still quite a few more. The Banelings going to run out. I don't know if that was worth it, though. A lot of the Banelings got used up on Marauders, not so much workers.
MaSa reevaluating what a front line actually is. In terms of the workers killed, it's, not really that dissimilar. Difference of 5 between the two sides. And again, this is what Hengelis did in game number 2. He was much more aggressive earlier, and he was able to actually kind of just outmass MaSa in the earlier stage. Now this round, that's a lot of barracks. So I'm not entirely too sure he's going to come out ahead in this one. 20 supply difference between the two of them. And look at that. Oh, that's not production. I was going to say, look at those structures. Woo, them structures.
Yep. Right now, MaSa is ahead in supply by about
20
30.
kills on a Banshee.
Yeah.
Commander Banshee.
Yep. Right now, the third base is going to get thrown down here for Hengelis. And right now, Iansu, I don't think it's a map that favors Hengelis' playstyle. As you were saying earlier in this game, Hengelis normally plays off of the 3 bases. He's just now getting his 3rd up. Last game, he had his 4th base up by now, and his 5th on the way. So
we also had Mutas on the way at 14 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, he's actually does have Mutas on the way. Never mind.
But yeah, so the 3rd base coming out this late for Hengelis, it's really putting him behind. And the fact that the 3 Banshees are still alive and still dealing damage, it's terrible for him because he just hasn't been able to deal with them.
Wouldn't it be interesting if rank actually played a factor in how good a unit was in StarCraft? I've seen it in a few of the other games, like the Command & Conquer series back in the day where you rank them up. But a Commander Banshee, maybe that's like the Banshee that
I think
that is summoned by Raynor in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, I think that would be a little overpowered. Right?
Just not in this game.
Yeah. Or then again, it hasn't really been built around it, so possibilities there. But engagement going to be going on. Nice splits from MaSa, and not really going to be able to do too much because Widowmine's cleaning up so many of those Zerglings. This
is not looking good for Hengelis. His aggression has not really paid off. He's down 40 supply. In terms of the army, he's actually, again, facing a factor of 2 between the two of them. In terms of the workers, they're not really that dissimilar until late, about 12 between them, but it's just not looking that great for Hengelis at this point. Like, MaSa's in a much more solid position. Look at the resources lost between the two of them.
Yeah, again, a factor of 2 there for the resources of lost. +1 armor finished up here, +2 weapons on the way. I wouldn't be surprised if +2 armor started soon for MaSa. +1 flyer attack's going to be finishing up here, but again, MaSa just ahead in upgrades. Versus Nubergini, he also was very ahead in upgrades. And right now, it's going to be just a little difficult for these two, for Hengelis to deal with this army. MaSa, he's preparing for a final fight here around the 3rd base.
That was a decent connect right there. Got a few of those Marines, but we got a 3rd, we got a 4th. Unfortunately, this base here on screen not mining. In fact, that's going to be battle larvae. So to speak, but those Marines are just providing excellent cover for those Banshees.
Yeah, right now there's so many Banelings, but Hengelis, he really hasn't been able to split them at all. So it's been a little bit difficult for him because what's happening is that his Banelings all connect on a few bio units, and then it wastes the rest because the remaining bio units that got split away from MaSa just clean up everything else.
Again, almost a factor, too, between these two armies. And once those Marines hit up here, that might just be critical mass. MaSa just might start going for the kill. Again, big supply difference between 35 and the cash is just it's just there for MaSa. Like, he's really, really getting these better trades. Every time those Banelings do not connect with more than 2, MaSa's just laughing all the way to the bank.
Yep, and right now, Hengelis only on 3 bases. His 4th base under fire still. And Hengelis is going to be trying to clean this up. The Widowmines will get cleaned up now, but there's still enough Marines to scare away the Mulist. And now Hengelis a little supply blocked here. MaSa trying to deal whatever damage he can. The Banshee going to show up yet again. And with no Overseer, it's going to be a little difficult to deal with it. And there's more bio reinforcements here for MaSa. Hengelis trying his best, but it's looking futile.
Well, the Banes were okay there. The Muta's Death Squad just kind of roaming around has been the main brunt of the damage here from Hengelis, but they're starting to really get whittled away. 33 army supply up against the 88 of the Terran. MaSa is going to be stimming out. That should be a dead hatchery off to the left, and maybe the one here onto the right not going to be that much away from dying itself, because 158 to now sub 100 supply. Hendreless is just not looking like this game is going to go his way.
Yeah, right now MaSa, again, as you said, very in the lead for supply. Now on equal bases, and again, as a Zerg, you always want to be one base up. He's going to get a macro hatch to try and fill this void.
I don't even think it's going to finish.
It's
no,
not.
it's totally not going to finish.
GG from Hendreless. MaSa up 2-1 in this best of 5.
So again, this is a big momentum game, because now going into map number 4, which is going to be Daedalus Point, which I believe is our second time we're actually going to get to see it. This is a big match, because MaSa could go on to win 3-1 and take the Toronto Cup, the TorCraft Cup.
Yeah.
He very well could. I mean, Daedalus Point, the way that MaSa's been playing, game number 1, game number 3, resounding victories. It's really now the pressure is going to be on Hendreless, and Hendreless has to deliver here in game number 4 if he wants to bring this to a 5th.
Yeah, and you know, the maps that MaSa's been winning on, again, they just don't seem to fit Hendreless' style. He enjoys taking a lot of bases really quickly, but Yeonsu, Frost, very hard to get above 3 bases very safely, especially versus a player like MaSa, where the constant aggression is coming in. And, you know, we saw that here on game number 3, where Hendreless just was in a lot of trouble throughout the entire game. Not able to use his 3rd and 4th base, getting his 3rd base at 14 minutes, whereas the previous game getting it up at about 10.
Yeah.
So now, Daedalus Point, another one of those maps. Getting above even 2 bases is very difficult on this map since it's so open.
So you're saying that's definitely a bit more MaSa favorite here for game number 4?
Yeah, and especially since it's so small, drops very effective, split push is very effective as well. So it fits MaSa's style. It
really does, yeah. Smaller compartmentalized armies that just wreak havoc across the battlefield. And consistent reinforcements has always been the way to go as well. But the players are ready to go. They're rip-raring. And Daedalus Point is going to be brought here to the forefront. Who's going to go home with the cash? Who's going to go home with the bragging rights and, of course, the TorCraft Cup? Will it be a win here for MaSa, taking it 3-1, or are we going to actually get to that 5th match and see Hendreless come out ahead for a tie?